liked and beloved by the jinn. The jinn, they take the shape of some animals and humans. Now we're going to talk about the form. There is a book out there. Alhamdulillah, I've done so much research into this field. But do not call me to tell me, Sheikh, I'm sick, can you come and perform ruqya? Because I don't perform ruqya nobody. But I can tell you how to do it, but I don't do it. Alhamdulillah, I finished, I stopped doing it. There is a book called Interview with the Jinn. Interview with the Jinn. What happened was a man who actually used to, is a doctor. I call them doctors. These are the people, shuyukh, who are sort of experts in this field. So he was actually performing ruqya on a man who was sick. And then the jinn, later on, he provoked the jinn and then the jinn spoke. So that man was actually possessed. And then he had a conversation with that person for a very long time. And he wrote down that conversation in his book. I do not say that whatever happened is true or false. But we will talk about the fact whether the jinn can speak or can utter words using the tongue of humans. That we can, inshallah ta'ala, explain and give you the evidence. So he had this very long conversation with this man who gave him some explanation of the form of jinn and how they look like and whatnot. But anyways, here we will go to the Quran and the Sunnah. The Sunnah, alhamdulillah, can tell us everything, and pretty much everything. If not, then we go to the consensus of Ahl al-Ilm. In Bukhari, there's so many ahadith in this regard. The very well-known hadith about Abu Huraira. Isn't it? Abu Huraira, who was actually guarding the bank of the Muslims, Bayt al-Mal. Came to him a man who wanted to steal from the bank of the Muslims, right? Abu Huraira caught him. The man said, please, I've got kids, I've got family, let me go. He said, I promise I will never come back again. He went and he told the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet told him that man will come back again. And sure enough, the next day the man came back again and wanted to steal from the bank of the Muslims. Abu Huraira caught him and wanted to take him to the Prophet ﷺ. He says, ya, please, I've got kids, or I've got family and I'm a poor man. Let me go. I will not come back again. And then he let him go and he went and he told the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet told him that man, he will come back again. And sure enough, for the third day, the man came back again. And he caught him. And he said, please let me go and I will teach you something. I will teach you something that nobody will ever teach you. He says, what is it? What is it? He says, before you go to sleep, recite Ayatul Kursi. You will not and you shall not be harmed by any shaitan. You shall not be harmed with any shaitan. Who says this? Shaitan himself. He went and he told the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet told him, Sadaqaka wa huwa kadhub. He said, he spoke the truth, although he's a liar, because they lie. The shayateen, the jinn, they lie. The non-Muslims, they lie. Here in this very particular instance, he said the truth. He spoke the truth. If you were to recite Ayatul Kursi before you go to sleep, you shall not be harmed by any shaitan or any jinn. Who recites Ayatul Kursi before going to sleep? Okay. From now on, inshallah ta'ala, all of us, sisters along, before we go to sleep, I will talk about this inshallah ta'ala in detail, when we talk about how to protect yourself. Recite Ayatul Kursi. Recite Ayatul Kursi. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Right? You know the surah? Ayatul Kursi. Before you go to sleep. You shall not be harmed by the shaitan. What we're trying to say here is that this man came in the form, this jinni, this shaitan came in the form of a man. So they can take the forms of humans. Okay. When we talk about how long ago was the creation of Jinn before ins, nobody knows. All we know that they were created before men or before humans, but how long ago? Allahu Ta'ala a'lam. Nobody knows. Okay? Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, those who eat riba will not stand in the day of resurrection except like standing of a person bitten by shaitan, leading him into insanity. Again, about the dwellings of jinn into the ins, into humans. Those who eat riba, those who deal with usury, who deal with interest, usury, and riba, will not stand in the day of resurrection except like standing of a person beaten by shaitan, leading him into insanity. This was also explained by Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayh. Ibn Taymiyyah has a very nice, if you go back to his fatawa, he explains this beautifully about the existence of jinn and how they can dwell into the human bodies. But my brothers, when we talk about, inshallah we'll explain, epilepsy, but that does not mean that everyone who has epilepsy is possessed by jinn. Okay, let's have this agreement. Not everyone who's got this sort of disease, epilepsy, is possessed by jinn. How about their offsprings? Do they produce? Do they get married? Nah, just like humans. They get married, they got kids, they produce, they've got houses and places again. They live in, again, the dwellings, we mentioned the dwellings, but just like humans, they have their own lives. And they get married and they produce offsprings. In the battlefield of Badr, my brothers and sisters, the shaitan also appeared in the form of Suraqa, right? Who later on embraced Islam. Suraqa ibn Malik. Suraqa ibn Malik came out and people saw him. He saw this man, Suraqa ibn Malik, screaming that the Prophet ﷺ got killed. But actually that was the shaitan who took the form of Suraqa ibn Malik. So they come in form, sometimes they come in form of humans. I just remembered something, but I thought not to say it, because maybe it's not appropriate. How about their waste? Do they eat? Do they, drink? No. Just like humans, I said. They also, can produce and have offsprings, and also they can eat and drink. Their waste could be in the form of smoke. What is the evidence? The evidence is in Bukhari, that the Prophet ﷺ says about the one who misses Salat al-Fajr. The one who misses Salat al-Fajr, the Prophet says, is that man actually the shaitan has urinated in his ear or her ear. That does not mean that that person has actually, the shaitan has gone and urinated, but maybe the urine here could be in the form of smoke, as per Ahl al-Ilm. But the hadith is in Bukhari. The man who actually misses Salat al-Fajr, the Prophet ﷺ says that man actually, the shaitan has urinated in his or her ear. How? So you may wake up and do this, I don't see nothing. Actually, it could be in the form of smoke, but yes, as per the Prophet ﷺ, the shaitan has urinated in your ear if you have missed Salat al-Fajr. It is Rasulullah, it's not me who says.